So how did I go from zero to over $50,000 per month in 6 months as a complete beginner? So before I use this method, just to give you guys some context, I was stuck. When I was 17, when I first started out, I was using the SMMA model and that mindset. I was watching loads of YouTube videos pretty much every single day from all the gurus that you probably watch as well. And my whole dream, my whole life goal was to hit 10K per month, my first 10K month. But I struggled for over a year to sign literally any clients whatsoever. But then as soon as I started to use this method that I'm going to go through in this video, I built and scaled my agency to 50K per month within 6 months. And the whole time, my outreach was all automated. I didn't touch it once. And I signed over 10 clients that were all paying me at least 5K per month to around 10K per month, plus a revenue share as well. And just to show you some proof, here's my monthly revenue screenshot on Stripe back at that time when I just scaled to 50K per month profit. And also as well, here's some screenshots of the retainers that I get paid, even of course till this day. It's anywhere from around 5K to over 10K dollars. And I also take a rev share as well, which means I take a share of the revenue that I generate for my clients. And just so you know, it's not me getting results for this method, because after I did it for myself, there was quite a few guys that came to me and asked me if I can help them do it as well for themselves. And here's a few examples of guys that have done this method, use this method that I'm going to go through in this video, and then got results from it the same way I did. So here's a guy called Adam. He closed a $20K, which is 16K pounds upfront payment client in 3 weeks of starting. They paid him 16K upfront for 3 months. Sorry, 3 months upfront, sorry. And here's a guy called Tobias. He closed a $5K per month client in 2 weeks. And then here's a guy called Adam, again, different Adam. He closed 2 clients for 15K in 1 day. A guy called Zeki, he closed 2 clients and hit his first 10K month in around 5 weeks. And like I said, all of these guys that I showed you this day and a lot more, of course, implemented everything that we're about to go through in this video that I'm about to show you. So here are the exact steps that I took. I reverse engineered the exact things that I did to go from, when I was struggling not to sign any client whatsoever and make any money whatsoever, to get to 50K per month within 6 months. And the first one, which is honestly one of the most important ones, if not the most important one to actually get you started on this path, is to let go of the 10K per month mindset and start playing the 100K per month game, or using the 100K per month mindset. Now, what does that actually mean? So obviously, like I said, I was watching countless hours every single day of YouTube videos from SMMA gurus and agency gurus. And what happened was I was trapped with these beliefs, these three main beliefs. First thing that I was kind of programmed to believe was that 10K per month is the hardest number to hit. And what I obviously realized was that based off what I was getting taught to sign 1K per month clients, $500 per month clients, I'll need around 10 to 15 clients just to hit 10K per month. And I thought that was the hardest number to ever hit. And then when I would get there, then, some magical thing would happen where I'd know how to scale further than that. And the second thing was, I believed that I'm just a beginner, because I was a beginner, but I believed that because I'm a beginner and I don't have any testimonials to show or case studies to show, that I should only work. I should try just to only work with small businesses that can't actually pay me that much money and try to help them grow from scratch. And the third thing is that I also believe that I'm a beginner. I don't have any results to show, so I should only charge. I'm only allowed to charge $500 to 1K per month, and no more than that, because how can I charge more than that? Because I have no case studies, I have no testimonials. Why would somebody want to pay me more than that? Especially when I was young too. And these 3 things, and obviously there's a few more ones, but I'm sure that you probably feel that this is one of these things, and you know this is true for yourself. You believe one of these to be true for you. This is the 10K per month mindset. This is what I mean by the 10K per month mindset. And this mindset is what kept me broke. This mindset is what kept me struggling to sign on any clients for literally a year of hard work, nothing to show for it. And all I had was like a couple of clients that were paying me $500 per month when I was doing a lot for them, and they left after a couple of months. But I realized that everything that the gurus on YouTube especially were programming me to believe was complete BS. So all of these beliefs were just complete BS. They're completely false, completely not true. And I knew that. I started to realize that all these are BS. I don't have to live by these beliefs. I don't have to sign small businesses as clients. I don't have to only make $500 per month per client. I can do a lot better than this. So then what I started doing is playing the 100K per month game. Now, what does that mean? It means I had to create new beliefs and set new beliefs for myself. And these beliefs, the most important ones anyway, that really helped me, was the first one was the way that I'm going to build my agency and my business from now on is 10K per month should only be 2 clients. It shouldn't be 10 or 15 clients. It should only be 2 of my clients should mean that I'm at 10K per month. And my first milestone shouldn't be 10K per month. It should be 50K per month, because I was stuck and I was sick of just my whole life goal was just to make 10K per month. And in the grand scheme of things, you will realize that it's not that much money, to be honest. It may be life changing for you right now, but when you're there, you realize that you can't really do much with 10K per month, especially when you realize what kind of life you can live and what you can do in the world. So I knew that, okay, I had to build my agency now. I stopped watching any YouTube videos whatsoever from gurus, and I realized that I had to find a way to be able to charge a lot of money, 5 to 10K per month, which meant that I could be at 50K per month in profit by the end of the year, in that year that I hit this 50K per month in the first 6 months. And the second thing was that I know that I could build an offer that was valuable enough to work with not just small companies, but big successful companies, established companies in whatever industry I wanted to work in, and charge them 5 to 10K per month easily. So that meant that hitting a big number like 50K per month became a lot easier than signing on 1K per month, 2K per month clients. And what happened when I had these new beliefs was I looked everywhere. I didn't find what I wanted anywhere, to be honest, but after researching understanding how different businesses work and how they build their offers, and more in the bigger industries, not just the agency world, I then created a new business model that was everything that I needed it to be to get to where I wanted to go, and I called it the Growth Partner Agency Model. Now, to break down what that means, because no matter what you may have heard before, there may be some other guys talking about Growth Partner or whatever else it may be, but for me, the Growth Partner Agency Model has a very specific meaning, and it's what I'm going to show you in this video. But to break down what each word means. So growth, what that means is, instead of your agency just providing basic services, what you do as a service is you solve the problem of growth for the companies that you work with, and your service is now evolved into growing companies through your chosen method of growth. I'm going to go through what that means later on. And what partner means is that instead of just signing on clients and working with them for like 1-2 months, so what that means is that you're always worrying about signing on more and more clients every single month and then worrying about them churning. With the Growth Partner Agency, the partner means that you partner with companies, and a very important point here, in the world's biggest industries, not the world's smallest industries, like local business and real estate and all this kind of stuff, on a long-term basis. So they don't have they don't want to leave you. They want to work with you on a long-term basis, over a year, if not even much more than that. And you get paid a monthly retainer plus a revenue share. Now, like I said, what that looks like is at least 5K per month to 10K per month, maybe even a lot more when you have some experience. And anywhere from 5 to 15% of the revenue that you generate for the client. So that means that one client can be paying you anywhere from 10 to 20K per month if you have the retainer plus the revenue share as well, which is obviously why it was for me so easy to scale up past 50K per month in profit. And then when it comes to agency, that word, the reason as to why that's there is because what that signifies or means is that you have a team behind you fulfilling your service delivery for you, and you also have multiple offerings that you sell to companies. So you don't just have the one offer, you have multiple offerings that you sell. And obviously we're going to go through what that means in a lot more detail in a minute. And the truth that I realized, that I really want you to realize now, is this is quite literally the only way to hit 50K per month profit within 1 year. There is no other way that's sustainable that I can actually get you to this point, because if there was, I would have used it. This whole model was created out of my desperation to find a way. So I actually hit 50K per month profit. And not just in revenue where I was making 10K per month profit, but genuinely 50K per month profit. This is the only way. If there was another way, I would have been doing it already. And it's the only reason that I went from being struggling for over a year in the SMMA model, as I'm sure a lot of you guys will be, to making, obviously struggling to hit 10K per month, that was my whole life goal, to hitting 50K per month with honestly quite minimal effort. 50K per month wasn't even really my goal that much, especially in 6 months. I didn't even think that I was going to hit it in 6 months. But because I did everything that I'm going to go through in these steps properly, what happened was it just happened. I just signed enough clients to where, wow, 1 month I just realized when I looked at my Stripe, I was at over 50K per month profit. And honestly, I wasn't really trying to hit that within 6 months. It just happened because I set everything up properly and I used the strategy that I'm about to show you in this video. And why is it the only way? Why is it, why is this method, why is this model so powerful? What is it about it? The first thing is that a growth partner agency only works with the highest quality of clients in any industry that you choose to work in. So meaning that they have zero problem paying you a big number, like 5 to 10K per month. If you are choosing to work with small industries, for example, real estate, local businesses, anything local whatsoever, gyms and whatever else, then they physically can't really pay you 5 to 10K per month, because then themselves, they're not making more than 20K per month profit, and maybe even a lot less than that. But with the growth partner agency, you really only work with companies that are making at least 50K per month, if not 100K per month, if not even multiple millions per month in profit and revenue. So paying you a number like 5 to 10K per month doesn't really become much of an investment for them. It's just more, it makes total sense for them, obviously, when you do everything right, as I'm about to show you. The second thing is what you offer to businesses, the businesses that you reach out to as a growth partner agency, is valuable enough. Like, if it's not just like you're just randomly bumping up your prices, what you are doing as a growth partner agency is valuable enough to charge 5 to 10K per month per client, and they work with you on a long-term basis. So they partner with you for over 12 months. For example, for me, it's been over 2 years now. I've had most of my clients for that whole time period. They've not left me yet. And that's obviously why. That's obviously because I'm doing everything the way that I'm going to show you. And the third thing is, a growth partner agency, you build a specialized team that takes care of the client fulfillment. So it allows you to not just be a glorified employee or glorified freelancer, and you build a real specialized team, which means you're building a real company, and not just like outsourcing it to VAs or drop servicing or service arbitraging. And what that means is you're able to scale up quickly, taking on multiple clients per month and actually get results for them, not just take them on and then lose them within 3 months. You genuinely build a team that can actually really do well for your clients, and actually really scale the companies you work with. And just quickly as well, because now you know what a growth partner agency model is, if you want a free course that I spent the last few months building, where I go through how you can build and scale your own growth partner agency, just like I did from 0 to 50K per month within 6 months, even if you're a complete beginner. Because like I said, when I first started out, when I did this, what I'm about to show you, I was a complete beginner. I had no experience, no testimonials, no case studies, nothing to show. So that wasn't the reason as to why I could sign the big clients. What I go through in the free course is the reason as to why I was able to sign on the 5 to 10K per month clients. And also, if you want the chance to book in a one-on-one call with me, for everyone that let inside of the free community, for the next couple of weeks maximum, just because I have some free time, I'm going to let them book in a one-on-one call with me where we just jump on and you can ask me any questions about anything, really. If you have any questions about building your own agency, scaling your own agency, doesn't matter where you are in the journey. If you're a complete beginner, if you already have an agency, we can jump on call and you can have half an hour to ask me anything you want, and I can show you whatever I can show you as well. So if this sounds good to you, then go ahead and click the link in the description. It's just going to be down below. Click that link, join my free community right now. Just open another tab right now. Join the free community, sign up, and then if I see that you've signed up, I will let you in within the next day. And like I said again, it's completely free. No payments to make whatsoever. You just have to sign up, and I'll let you in the next day or so if you're a good fit. And you can go ahead and book a one-on-one call with me and access the free course and go through all of it and have this same experience for yourself with your own agency. So let's get straight into the steps. The first thing is that I chose the right ideal client. That's a very, very important step. Honestly, the foundation of everything as to why I did so well. So now that I knew that I had the right model, I had the right business model to use, not SMMA, but this new way of doing things, a growth partner agency, I knew that I can get to 50K per month. But now I had to choose the right companies to reach out to and work with. And for me, I realized that there was only really 3 options. Like I said, you don't really want to be working with anything like local businesses, any form of local business or local service business, like roofing companies or solar companies or clinics or gyms or whatever. I could only really choose out of these 3 options. The first one was e-commerce brands, so that means companies that are selling physical products online. The second one was infoproduct companies. That means that it's companies that are selling digital products online. The third one is SaaS and app companies. This is just companies that are selling softwares and apps online. These are the only 3 industries that I obviously was considering, and it's the same for you. I would only consider for you choosing out of these 3 industries. The reason as to why all these 3 industries have these 3 things in common. The first thing is they are the world's biggest and most cash abundant industries. What that means is that for you, they can pay you very easily. Pretty much all companies in this industry can pay you 5 to 10K per month quite easily. Second thing is that these companies all sell their products online, so they need help with the elements of their marketing that you can take care of for them. So they genuinely have a need for help, and that is where you can come in as a growth partner agency and give them that help and solve those problems. And what that means as well is it's a lot easier for you to sign them on. You don't have to convince them. A lot of the time with an SMMA or when you're working with local businesses, you're having to convince them as to why they need to be running ads or why they need to be online or why they need to be using social media. But with these companies, they know that they have to be on social media and they're just actively looking for help. Therefore, it's a lot easier for you to sell them on working with you. And the third thing is there is an abundance of companies being built in these industries every single month, every single year. And these industries will only keep growing rapidly for decades. It's almost like, think of it as you're gonna be a part of the future, not be a part of the past. For example, when you're working as an agency, when you're working in the industries like real estate and local business, you're working with industries that are slowly going to die out. But if you're working with these three industries, any one of them, then you're always going to be working with industries that are going to be keep growing and growing and growing in the future. And like I said, there are more than enough qualified clients for anybody. There's no saturation whatsoever. There's no worry about them being saturated. As long as you do things the way that I'm going to show you in this video, there's more than enough clients for you to sign on. And I realized that I needed to choose an industry that had these three elements. And also as well, second thing is that I needed to choose an industry that I actually wanted to be in long term. This is a mistake that a lot of people make that I didn't want to make anymore. I was working with local businesses, with companies I didn't actually care about. But then I knew that when I was 17, I had kind of the long-term vision, the dream about starting my own e-commerce brand. I knew that in the future, I really wanted to build, didn't know what it would be really, but I knew that I really wanted to build my own, big, massive, worldwide known e-commerce brand, not a dropshipping store or something like that, or I wanted to build a really, really big brand. So for me, it made total sense to work in the industry that I genuinely wanted to be in the future. So past running my agency, I knew that in the future, I actually wanted to build an e-com brand myself. So it made total sense to build my agency working with e-com brands so that I fully understand myself how to actually grow an e-com brand so that when I go to build my own, I can do whatever I need. I know what to do. I'm pretty much sorted. So then obviously, like I said, I chose e-commerce brands. That's what I chose. And kind of like I guess the sub niche within e-commerce brands is that I chose to work with products that were kind of low to mid ticket. So that means around like $30 to $150 roughly. And for me, I kind of just chose that I wanted to work with products or brands that had products that kind of benefit people's lives. So you can choose whatever you want: fashion, tech. Like for example, for like me, I chose kind of like supplements and health. You can choose whatever you want, but I chose this because I knew that in the future I wanted to build a brand myself that actually had a product that could help people and benefit people's lives. So yeah, that was a really important point that I think you should definitely think about: is what industry do I align with? What industry do I want to build something in the future? And the second thing I did after I chose my ideal client as e-commerce brands was I built a 5 to 10K per month offer. So what that looks like is I knew that my offer had to have three things. And the three things were, first was I had to provide enough value and solve as many problems as possible for my ideal clients. And that was obviously enough for them to want to pay me a big retainer. Again, it's not like a case of you, with a growth partner agency, you don't really have to sell. You just have to show them what you can do. And the experience has been for me and everybody else that I've showed this model to and that have used this model. It's the case where they just show what they can do, and the prospect or the client on the call and sales call are always the ones asking them or asking me, how can we move forward? How can we get started? And I had to build an offer that was that good. Second thing is I had to position it in a way that will make the client see me as a partner in their business. It's a very important point because I didn't want to be able to, I didn't want to be worrying about having to, worry about signing clients on every single month, about, clients churning, about only having clients for 3 months. I wanted to have a stable income, be at 50K per month in a very, conservative, stable way, and not have to worry about always trying to sign more clients and run ads to get clients and all this other stuff that people end up doing when they run an SMMA. And the third thing is I wanted to provide a solution to problems that even the biggest companies, so I didn't just want to appeal to the smallest companies in the industry. I wanted to work with the biggest e-com brands out there in the industry, and that I wanted to be providing solutions to problems that these brands or these companies are actively looking to solve. So what that means is that it's the problem or the solution that I'm solving with my offer is still in very high demand. Like, brands are actively looking for help with this. You don't have to convince them or have to persuade them. They're already looking for help, and as long as you can just show them what you can do, they'll be the ones asking you how can you move forward. And also as well, that I knew that I had to build an offer with high demand and low good supply. So what that means is that we've covered the high demand but low good supply. What that means is that I can see that there's very few agencies that are actually providing this solution in the way that I know I can do it as a growth partner agency, not just a basic agency, basic service agency. So that was a very important point too. So this meant that I could no longer just sell basic single services. For example, I couldn't just sell Facebook ads or Google ads or building websites or social media management. Instead, I had to choose a method of growth, a method of growing e-com brands, a platform, and a method that I can help my clients utilize to grow their companies more holistically. So what I mean by that is not just doing one basic service, but kind of combining a few services together. That's what creates the method of growth, and I'll explain what that is in a second. Instead of just selling basic services. So I can no longer ever say that I run a Facebook ad agency or a Google ad agency or a social media management agency. I had to really decide what I want my method of growth to be. And that, for me, what I decided to do, and what I recommend all of you to do as well, if you want to be in the e-commerce industry, is to help e-commerce brands grow through TikTok and Instagram. And what that means is you're utilizing things like UGC ad creatives, which means just pretty much producing videos for their ads, using TikTok and Meta paid advertisement, and also as well working with creators as affiliates. These three things are the most in-demand and low good supply things in the e-commerce industry. And it's also the same for SaaS as well. And when it comes to info products, the most in-demand thing is helping info products grow through building an organic audience through content, short-form content, long-form content, and also ads as well, and then converting that traffic with a sales system. So once I knew what my method of growth was, when I decided on this, when I knew that, okay, this was the one that was most in demand, that I can learn. Obviously, I had no idea whatsoever when I first started about anything to do with TikTok or ads or UGC creatives or creators. I had no idea about anything about this. But I knew that I could, if I wanted to, I could become an expert in whatever I wanted to become an expert in. And this for me was the best thing to become an expert in, because this is the newest, most cutting edge way that brands want to scale. And a lot of them, pretty much the majority of them, haven't yet figured it out. So that means that it's in very, very high demand. And what I do from there, when I've decided on the method of growth, is that I then create something called my growth system. So my growth system is pretty much the exact steps that I'm going to implement in my ideal client's business, the process. Almost, I think of it as like a roadmap. What would you do to take your ideal client from where they are to where they want to be through this method, which is TikTok and UGC creatives and paid ads and working with creators, all this kind of stuff. And then I developed that. I spent a little bit of time developing that and understanding, learning from people on Twitter and YouTube what a brand would need to do to grow through TikTok and through all these methods. And then I developed my process, the process that I was going to go through to help clients grow through TikTok. And after I developed my growth system, I then built my 5 to 10K per month offer. And what that is called as a growth partner agency is called a growth partnership. Now, a growth partnership is where I partner with e-com brands. I work with them on a long-term basis, and I implement my full growth system, meaning that I take my client through the process that I've developed step by step, with obviously my team as well. And this is the offer that my ideal clients would be happy to pay me 5 to 10K per month, as well as a percentage of revenue for. It's like, because you are doing kind of all these things together, not all at once, but in the right process, for them, this is the best thing that you can be done for the brand. Like if they were going to do it themselves, there's nothing more that they would do themselves. So if you can come in and show them that you can implement it all for them in a much quicker time frame and also much more efficiently, and just they can just trust one person, which is you, to run it all for them, then that is why they're more than happy to pay you 5 to 10K per month versus, for example, let's say it's a massive brand, versus them trying to hire 5-6 people to do the same thing that you would do, and with no kind of guarantee or no kind of understanding that, okay, they actually know what they're doing. That is why every brand is so happy to pay me and all the guys that I've taught this to 5 to 10K per month, as well as a percentage of revenue. And let's go into it deeper as well. Why are they actually happier to pay you 5 to 10K per month if you have a growth partnership versus, for example, running a basic single service agency where you're trying to sell them on one basic service? The first thing is, it's because you're solving their biggest problem. There's no bigger problem that a business has other than growth. That is their the biggest pain they have. And the way you're doing that is you're kind of holistically taking care of the most essential elements to their marketing that they have not figured out yet. So that is why I wouldn't recommend going for trying to provide things like Google ads and Facebook ads and just by itself, or like, for example, website building, because most of the time brands have figured that out. Is that method of growth, or that overall element of their marketing has been out for a long time. So they've probably figured it out either with agencies or with their own team. But these kind of things, for example, growing their brand through TikTok, no matter how big of a team they have, most brands, even if they're 9-8-figure brands, they haven't yet figured it out. They just still don't know what to do, and that's why they're actually looking for help, and are happy to pay you for it. And the second thing is that any alternative option that they have that they could use to implement the same thing as what I'm offering, for example, other agencies, freelancers doing it in-house, building their own team, would be more expensive and a lot more effort than just working with me. Even though that may sound crazy to you, as to like it's actually cost efficient to be paid. It's for them to pay you 5 to 10K per month. It's actually the truth. It actually makes a lot more sense to pay you that money even though you're making, like an 80% profit margin, versus them paying, two different types of agencies at once, or multiple freelancers, or multiple team members that they hire themselves. It's actually a lot easier for them to just pay you that much money for you to do the work instead. And I also had a second offer that I provided too, and that I built, and that was just UGC ad creative production. So I took that one element from my growth system, the UGC ad creative production, just producing ad videos for them, and I made that its own offer. Now, why did I do that? Because one thing is to make sure that I have a kind of a lower commitment offer. So obviously, partnering with me and my agency to help the brand grow, it's quite a big commitment. But sometimes, for example, if it's a really, really massive brand, they didn't always want to sign on for the full growth partnership, because maybe they have their own team. Maybe they don't really need the full growth partnership. So that's why I created a UGC ad creative production offer, because I realized that even if a brand already has a massive team, already has agencies they're working with, if you can show them that you can produce better ad creatives for them, that is one of the key reasons as to why they will make more money. So you're solving a very, very big problem for them just by producing these ad creatives. And also as well, it's a bit easier to sell. You don't really have to show them a big long process or a big long growth system. You just have to show them that you're going to produce them better than they're producing it themselves. And then when it comes to pricing as well, I priced this at around at least 3K per month or 6K per month. So 3K was for 10 creatives, for 10 videos, and 6K was for 20. And as well, when it comes to profit margins, I was making at least 70% on these deals as well. So it was also very, very lucrative as an offer as well. And the third thing I did, this third step that I took after I built my offer, was to build the money-making machine. And what this is called is the automated outreach system. This is the way that I can sign clients that was just all automated for me. I wasn't having to actually do outreach myself every single day. That was one thing I hated doing when I was struggling, when I was first started out in the SMMA model. I was having to do outreach myself every single day, and I hated it. I didn't want that to be my day-to-day task every single day. So I wanted to find a way where I could just automate the whole thing and just let it run. And I knew that it would just get me book calls, and I could close those calls when I jumped on them. And how is it automated? Obviously, I'll run through what the actual system is, but there's two ways that it was actually automated when I say that. The first thing was that I trained a virtual assistant from the Philippines. Their salary was around $300 per month, which is obviously very, very cheap for a full-time employee. And what they did, after I built the system, they pretty much just sourced leads and messaged leads every single day for me. So I never had to message leads and do outreach and check up on my outreach every single day. They were the ones running the whole thing for me pretty much. So it was like I was able to focus on getting better at service delivery, and understanding what I'm doing more, and and building the agency more, and hiring team members, all that kind of stuff, the more money making stuff. And the second thing as well is that I set up email sequences on a platform called Instantly, and that pretty much these sequences followed up with all the leads over a long time, for many months. I had loads and loads of steps, and the whole goal of these emails was to get the lead to book in a call with me. So I never needed to keep following up with my leads and have to worry about if they don't reply to the first message, what do I do? Straight away, as soon as I sent the first message, they were automatically put into these automated sequences that just followed up with them for me for months on end. And a lot of the times it took, maybe for example, took 1-2 months for a client to reply to me to actually want to work with me. So that's why that wouldn't have happened unless I had these automated sequences set up. So the way that the process works, I'll run you through it now. So of course, the first thing I do is that I send them the first message. And the way that I do that is I send it through Instagram using optimized profiles. And I obviously go through this in a lot more detail in the free course and my free community. I don't want to go too much into detail into this exact point in this video, but go ahead and join the free community, access the free course. You'll see what I mean in there, and I'll show you examples as well. And I pretty much send a message to every ecom brand, every lead, and I send them a message that at some point in the message towards the end, I ask them for their CEO or CMO's email address so that I can send them a Loom video that I've made with advice on how they can grow. Obviously, what I'm talking about, the advice that I'm giving, is advice around what I'm providing, what I offer, which was obviously UGC creatives, TikTok ads, and using creators as affiliates. So when it comes to the number that I hit, just so you know kind of what is necessary, what you need to hit in terms of volume, I sent around 50 to 100 new messages per day to leads every single day. Obviously, it wasn't me, it was my VA. And then what happened from there, the next step in the process was that I sent a Loom video with actionable advice, of course, around my offer. And at the end of the video, it was around 5 to 7 minutes long. I had a call to action that got the lead to booking a call with me. And there was a button on Loom in the Calendly. There was a button on Loom, and in the button when they clicked it was a link to my Calendly. And my Calendly is where they went ahead and booked in a call. But if they didn't book in a call from the Loom, and obviously when it comes to numbers again, I would usually be getting around 7 to 10 warm leads per day. So what that means is that I'd be pretty much sending out 7 to 10 looms per day. It wasn't like I was filming the looms were already made. The VA was just sending them for me, but that was kind of the number that we were hitting every single day. And then from there, obviously not every single lead, not many leads booked in a call straight away from the loom. A lot of them needed to be followed up with. So that is where the automated follow-up sequences came in. So they were automatically put inside these follow-up sequences by my VA. And the whole goal, the two goals of these sequences, the first one was to get them to watch the loom in case they hadn't already. Then when they watch the loom, the second one is to get them to book in a call with me through Calendly. And then from there, obviously they booked in a call with me from my Calendly, and I had around usually I would be taking around 4 to 5 calls per week. So you don't need to be taking calls every single day. Even some days, for example, some weeks, for example, I'll have only 2 calls. And as a growth partner agency, when you're doing it in this way that I'm about to show you, and I have showed you, there's no need to book in 2, 3, 4 calls a day. There's no need, because the idea is that you should be closing the majority of them. If they're qualified and they're on call with you, if you do everything properly, you should be able to close them on that call. There's no reasons to why you need to take 3, 4, 5 calls a day. Only 3, 4, 5 calls a week, and that's more than enough. And obviously, like I said, from there on each call, either on the first call or the second call, I would then close them. And for me, I was closing around 2, even 1 month, I had 5 clients signed in 1 week. But I was closing around 2 to 5 clients a month for either the growth partnership offer or the content production offer. And obviously, what that meant was that I was at 50k per month in profit within 6 months by sending around 2 to 5 clients per month. And as well, the next step, obviously as well, let me go through this, is that, like I said, I was doing all of this, without me even working. I was just working on, getting better at what I was going to provide, understanding it more, becoming a bit more of an expert, getting some more confidence in what I was going to do as service delivery. And in the meantime, all of this was done by my VA. Obviously, I was taking the calls, but my VA was doing it all for me. This is an example of the message she would send me every single day. So she would send me a report of what she did every single day. So for example, how many leads she messaged, how many leads she followed up with, how many warm leads were generated, which means how many leads replied to us asking to see the loom. And for example, this is like some examples of when we get replies. They would reply to me saying, hey, please email this email. Hey, hope you're having a great day. Please email this. So that's kind of the responses we got every single day. And my VA was doing that all for me. She was moving the leads from here to there, from sending them the loom, sending them the messages, all that kind of stuff. So I was just kind of like sitting back, looking at these reports, and then I'd see it one day, oh wow, I've got a call booked in. Oh wow, I've got a call booked in. That's pretty much how it went for me. And also as well, a really, really important point as to how I wrote the messages and the emails to appeal to these, multiple 7-figure brand owners. The first thing that a lot of people make the mistake of doing is they try to, overthink the messages so much. They overthink it so much and try to use copywriting techniques and be salesy and be persuasive. But what I did instead was I came across as approachable, genuine, and authentic. I didn't try to write a weird message. I just wrote a normal message as if I was trying to connect with that person normally, like not as if I'm trying to sell them on anything or trying to convince them to book in a call with me. The second thing is that is really important as well. It's the reason as to why I had the loom as part of the process is because I knew that I had to give value. I had to give them value to make them trust me before asking them to ask them to book in a call with me. Getting a random person to book in a call with you, it's a big commitment for them to just like say, yeah, I'll jump on a call with you. But I knew that was the case. So I couldn't just, in the first message, ask them if they wanted to book in a call with me, or ask them, are you interested, or how does this sound? I knew that I had to, build trust with them and give them value before I actually did that. And that was why the loom was there. That's why I sent the loom rather than asking them anything else. And the third thing is that I came across as an expert in the e-com space. So how I did that was through my profiles. In my Instagram profiles, I set them up specifically for the purpose of outreach. It wasn't like my own personal profiles. I set up around 5 to 10 of them, and I made content that pretty much made me look like I was an expert. I made content that gave advice around how to grow a brand through TikTok and how to use TikTok for brands and all this kind of other stuff. And if you looked at these accounts, if you saw them at first glance, you would think that this person is actually like an expert. He's like a consultant or some sort of like coach in the e-com space. And that is why when a brand, even as big as a multi 8-figure brand or 9-figure brand, when they'd go ahead and click on my message and click on my profile to see who messaged them, they would see that, okay, this guy's worth replying to, this guy's worth trusting. And that's why I got so many replies back from such a massive brands. And also as well, the most important thing that this system did, especially as to why it was automated, to book in all of my sales calls that I got, was a very important point to the system is that it makes the most out of every single lead. So you're not trying to just spam out loads of messages every single day to random leads and just trying to increase the volume. It's much more important to go for quality than quantity. So even though, yes, I was reaching out to 50 to 100 leads per day, I never went over that really, because I knew that if I went over that, I couldn't keep the quality up. I couldn't make sure that I wouldn't get put into spam, or I couldn't have a proper, give them proper value. So that was a very, very important point. And also as well, with the automations, for example, the email sequences, it followed up with them for months on end. Literally didn't stop following up with them until they either replied or booked in a call. So I never wasted any lead. That was a very, very important point. I think if I remember, I only reached out to around 2,500 or maybe 3,000 leads in total over the 6 months. Obviously not me, but my VA. And that was enough for me to be at 50K per month. And obviously most people are sending out 10, 20,000 emails per month to leads and they don't get any clients signed. But I only needed 3,000 over the whole 6 months, and that was enough for me to actually book in enough calls and then close those clients on the calls for 5 to 10K per month, which obviously then meant that I was at 50K per month within 6 months. And the last thing that I did, which is very important, which allowed me to actually scale up quickly and stay at 50K per month profit, was as soon as I signed my first client, I went on to actually automate my agency from the get-go. I didn't wait. Straight away, as soon as I had the first bit of money, I automated my agency and built my team. So first what I did is I built SOPs, standard operating procedures, which pretty much just like a list of how things should be done, and also systems, which means pretty much like almost like a course on how to do something within your agency. I built this for every single part of my client fulfillment within my agency. So for example, to kind of tell you how I did it, the first thing is that with every single task that was done to deliver my service, I'd first do them myself for a couple of weeks to understand how it should be done. And then what I did was I wrote out a step-by-step list in terms of exactly what to do to complete that task in extreme detail, as much detail as possible. I then also recorded myself doing the task so that people, for example, somebody could watch me doing it and understand how I'm doing it. And the fourth thing was that I created an SOP on how each task should be done with these exact steps that I wrote out before, and also the video of me doing it. So it's almost like I built a course, like a small course, mini course on how to do each task within my fulfillment. So that what I could do from there was then I went on to hire team members that took over all these tasks for me. So the first thing I did was I created a job post looking for, the way that I would do is I looked for current or ex-marketing students that understood TikTok just in a fundamental way and social media. So I wasn't trying to bring on, very, very experienced people that have done TikTok for brands before. Who I was trying to bring on for team members were just kind of like girls and guys that were kind of young, either in university or out of university, and I gave them the opportunity to work directly with the brands, and that obviously amounted to having a very good job for them. And the way that I would pay them as well, just so you know, was that I would pay them a cut of the retainer. So for example, let's say I was getting paid 5K per month, I would give them around $500, $600 per month. Obviously, when I would get paid that 5K, I would just straight away give them $500. So it was kind of a cut of the retainer, and what they would do is they would just manage all the day-to-day tasks, so I wouldn't have to do anything from there. And I used LinkedIn to find most of these candidates, and I also interviewed them and obviously hired the best ones, and then from there obviously chose which tasks each one of them were going to be doing, and then with the service delivery. And I gave them the SOP that I built, and pretty much they just followed that, and I helped them. I kind of trained them as well through call in a space of like 2 weeks, and after like two or so weeks, they could pretty much take over the whole task for me, and I was pretty much delegated. And also as well, what happened for me was that I think at 50K per month, I only had maybe 4 team members that helped me with service delivery. And after the first 2 months of having my agency, I pretty much had delegated all of the client fulfillment work. I didn't need to work on my clients anymore if I didn't want to, which meant that I could just focus on bringing on more clients, multiple clients per month, and scale up really quickly whilst actually getting results from my clients. It's a really important part. Like with my agency coming from SMMA, I actually genuinely wanted to grow brands. I actually wanted to have case studies. I wanted to actually get the experience myself. And the team that I built actually enabled me to do that, enabled me to actually see the brands I was working with genuinely grow through what we were doing for them. And also here to show you as well some more proof and some more, so you can know kind of how this went for me. Here are some of my other clients that I still work with to this day. And also a pretty important thing that I want you to know is that I signed a lot of these clients that you can see on the screen right now that are massive brands. I signed them within these first 6 months when I pretty much had no case studies or no testimonials to show. And I want you to kind of see this and realize that you can do the exact same. I was not special whatsoever. I didn't have some secret knowledge. I wasn't experienced already. I didn't have any kind of like secret edge. I just did it this way that I showed you in this video and that I go through obviously in a lot more detail in the free course and my free community. And that led to me sending on these massive clients that I still work with to this day, that still pay me anywhere from around 5K to even over 15K per month with the rev share as well. Alright guys, like I said, if you want access to the free course where I go through and show you how you can build and scale your own growth partner agency from 0 to over 50K per month within 6 months, as well as having the chance to book in a one-on-one call, Zoom call with me, where you can jump on and we'll build a roadmap together for you in terms of the exact action steps you need to take to build and launch your own growth partner agency and transform your life. Go ahead right now in the description, there's a link there, the first link, click that link, go ahead and sign up as you're watching this. And pretty much in there, you'll have access to pretty much more than what people pay $3,000 for in a lot of programs. I built this free community to give as much value as possible and also give you the opportunity and the chance to actually be able to talk to me one-on-one on a Zoom call. So yeah, don't miss out on the opportunity. It won't be there for much longer, only for a few days after I post this video. So make sure you go ahead and do that just now. And also as well, make sure you go ahead and comment down below. I'd love to hear what you thought of the video, how you found it, what kind of, any questions you may have. And also as well, make sure you subscribe. I'm going to be posting 2 or 3 videos a week, giving as much value as possible, showing you guys. It's a bit of a passion for me to show you guys and give you guys the same transformation that I had. I've not had any mentors or anything like that, so for me, I was lucky enough to figure it out by myself, but I want to give you the same realizations and the shifts that I had that allowed me to go from 0 to 50K per month within 6 months when I was 18, 19. So yeah guys, much love. Make sure you subscribe just now, like the video, and I'll see you in the next video. And inshallah also in the community and on the one-to-one call that you'll book with me.